A very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. Welcome to News Tonight. We'll start with a look at the top stories. Thank you for joining. Government extends disbursement of COVID-19 relief funds to Thursday. 26 medical workers at Lyantonde Referral Hospital test COVID-19 positive. Police and sister security agencies tighten the grip on people forcing themselves into Kampala. While Silverbacks in buoyant mood for Afro basketball qualifier against Morocco. UBC News Tonight. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Elizabeth Nakakon is the lady on the sign language corner. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in our first story, has said that Africa's pathogenic economy, which offers huge economic opportunities, is being taken advantage of by others and Africa is totally absent. Museveni, however, said Ugandan scientists are working on another type of vaccine at the Virus Research Center after they succeeded in getting the green monkey cells that are key for virus multiplication in vaccine production. President Museveni, who was accompanied by Kenya's Deputy President William Ruto, was today laying a foundation stone for the multi-billion biological drugs and mRNA vaccine manufacturing facility at Matuga, Wakiso district. The ceremony was held under the theme, Making Africa Self-Sustaining in Healthcare, a Giant Leap.
Is an East African and he is a Ugandan. Ordinarily, Your Excellency, investments of this magnitude have white faces. Ordinarily, it is people from Europe and America who engage in these investments. I want to say congratulations to Matthews. We are very proud of you as East Africans, that the language you are speaking of billions of dollars, we are domesticating it in our continent. It is new, but we have champions like you who are daring to walk the journey to invest in this space and in the magnitude that we have witnessed. You are lucky because you have a great mentor and leader that has provided the necessary support for these investments to take place. Your Excellency, let me say on behalf of other East Africans that your leadership, that you speak straight and you encourage East Africans to invest here in East Africa goes a long way in changing the destiny of our region, and you have our support.
Green monkey killing the cells. That the African green monkey, this is the African green monkey. Apparently it has got cells somewhere, either on the kidney or someplace, where which cells can grow where the virus is. If you have got those cells, you can easily grow these viruses like this one with corona. They like, I don't know why they like those cells. And my people were looking for these cells in the whole of Africa. They were nowhere. The whole of Africa. South Africa, Morocco, nothing. Egypt. So they had to go some other place. And remember, these are cells of the African green monkey. So somebody took these cells and some other people, not only one, many took, and multiplied them But nobody in Africa had these cells until now. We have them now. And apparently this is the first time these cells of the African green monkey are being used in a laboratory in Africa to multiply the viruses, all these viruses, the different types. So this shows you the word Magwara knows very well. Kulambala. This is kulala. Africa wamelala sana. Shile hapa ni kulala tu. Sleeping. Really sleeping. It's not lack of this, lack of Africans got everything. It's nothing we don't have it.
That is His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of Uganda, and previously it was His Excellency William Ruto, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, in Matuga this afternoon. Government has pushed the day for the vulnerable persons in Uganda hit by the lockdown to receive the funds to Thursday. Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, Betty Amongi, says that the delay has been caused by slowdown by local council authorities to present required data.
The Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development and that of ICT, Chris Bariomsi, made the announcement at Uganda Media Center in Kampala. They said the Gender Ministry had not received enough data from the local authorities to start sending money to the vulnerable persons hit by COVID-19 lockdown.
We also had requests from town clerks across municipalities and town councils to extend for them time because they were overwhelmed with the processing of the data. In the case of Kampala, they had delayed uploading the data on the system because they were processing it and first typing it at division level. And by 2 p.m. we still had not received any data from Kampala uploaded on the system.
The minister adds that they were also battling legal issues concerning the data of the beneficiaries that also needed to be cleared.
Therefore, the delay in payments, which should have begun today, has been occasioned by some of those issues of data which are not enough. And of course, you know, like in the case of Kampala, we wanted at least to sample that all sub-regions are there for us to start payments. But also there was another additional legal issue of how to deal and protect the biodata of the beneficiaries.
The minister pledged to sort out inconsistencies involving the data collection process.
The data, the town clerks have been given the liberty to look at mechanism through which they can verify the data. That's why you are seeing in most of the areas in Kampala, they have displayed the data. That's a process of verification. In other areas, after verification, they are also asking security to support them to confirm that those are residents from that area, because in our proposal, we gave liberty to the town clerks to look at village health teams to support them, to look at the Red Cross, to look at ward administrators, community development officers, support from the LCs.
The Minister for ICT revealed that talks are ongoing between government and financial institutions to urge them review loan terms so as not to harass defaulters during lockdown.
And we're also engaging the banks and financial institutions to do the same when it comes to loans, mortgages, so that there is this understanding and the loans repayment can be restructured so that we can cushion.
The landlords have also been urged not to harass tenants during the lockdown.
I also want to use this opportunity to call upon landlords, like we earlier on guided in the first lockdown. we further, as government, wanted to clarify that Ugandans, we have to support each other, and the people should not be evicted or forced to pay rent when actually they are not earning, because there are those concerns also.
Philip Aguta, UBC News in Kampala.
Thank you very much.
As the public eagerly waits to receive the government COVID-19 relief intervention, our movement around Kampala revealed a lot. Questions about the rationale to choose the vulnerable still abound, while many vulnerable people are likely to be left out due to lack of identification or even mobile phones.
Local leaders and residents around Kampala crying foul over the procedure used to determine the beneficiaries of the government COVID-19 relief intervention.
They had said they're going to use the list of the UPDF distributing food. They changed that, they said the LCs will be part of it. And now they've kicked all politicians out of the exercise, which is somehow good again, because by them doing that, which means there's no way you can come to my area and generate a list without the local leader. And it would have helped them by using the local leaders, because the local leaders know their people more than someone who has come from nowhere. Two, the issue of using the town clerks, there's no problem, he's the accounting officer, which is not a problem. But I have a town clerk who is sleeping. I have a town clerk who is so secretive with all the information. I have a town clerk who is never in office.
Further down in the heart of the city, the local leaders appreciate government effort, but know that many will miss out due to lack of documents. Chisenyi Central Zone Chairperson Charles both questions the time spell to register that was not enough and unable to capture all in this area affected by homelessness.
We are given forms, which forms we filled and then they took back on Sunday. The only challenge I got was that on that very day, they gave us limited time whereby we could not register all the vulnerables around. You know, Sundays are tricky days. Some people were not there, but we managed to capture the few vulnerables.
The major reason Kampala residents are likely to miss out on the relief is explained by Paul Mubiru, who is a local leader and resident of Chisenyi Central Zone.
Business areas,
a tour along Busabala Road was met with pessimism by members of the public. Government COVID-19 relief intervention is expected to start soon.
Members of Parliament from Western Uganda want government to extend COVID-19 relief to all vulnerable Ugandans across the country instead of limiting it to those in cities and municipalities. They say those in town councils undergo the same conditions of lockdown just like those in the cities and municipalities.
Government announced relief funds of 100,000 shillings to those badly hit by COVID-19 lockdown, as soon as the president declared the partial lockdown of 42 days. But the relief funds are only meant for the vulnerable in cities and municipalities, a decision MPs from Western Uganda have held a contrary view about. They say those in town councils have also been affected by the lockdown, especially the teachers in private schools, bar workers, saloon operators, and those in public transport sector.
In our rural constituencies, we have vulnerable people, which my colleagues will mention. Those vulnerable people are in urban centers, town councils, trading centers, and also in villages, including people who shifted from towns when there was a lockdown. Before the lockdown, the doors were shut for people to travel. all these people are vulnerable. So our major request is that these people also in rural constituencies are considered.
In these trading centers or town councils, our people rent, those businessmen rent, the traders, there are lots, categories like we mentioned of the vulnerables, the wheelbarrow pushers, the border guys, the tax operators, all those also are in those town councils.
When you look at my own district, like Nungu district, it's a district that it's bordering Congo. So many people don't even have gardens. They survive on trading with Congo. If you look at Busia, those people survive on trading with Kenyans. So we want the government to consider the border districts and town councils that are not working.
Western Uganda legislators also want government to intervene and rule over the banks and other financial institutions to stop harassing loan defaulters during the lockdown.
Talk to those loan officers, the loan officers from microfinance, the money lenders, to be a bit lenient. People are dying, and in addition, they are putting pressure for them to pay the loans. Where do they get the loans? Where do they get the money to pay the loans? So if they can be requested to hold or to be lenient.
The MPs also urge government to consider evacuating those badly affected by the lockdown in Kampala and are willing to go back to their villages.
Some of them underestimated 42 days. They thought they would manage. It's not easy. We still have almost 4 weeks to go. Even if they benefit on that 100,000, it will not take them long. I'm requesting the government to put free transport. They can even be tested. Then they take those who are feeling the heat more, and they go to the village and eat those ripe bananas in my place. There are very many.
The government has, however, insisted that those who live in cities and municipalities are more vulnerable than those in town councils.
Because you still get calls, I have also seen the print media, people saying, why are you not giving us who are in rural areas? Yes, we know. Even those who live in rural areas are affected. But we also know in our situation as Uganda, people who live in rural areas, they may not have money in the pocket, but they have gardens. Someone will have a cassava garden or a banana plantation.
Philip Aguta, UBC News at Parliament.
From Parliament, we'll take a very short break. Thank you so much for watching.
As the financial year 2020-2021 draws to an end, URA has put measures in place to facilitate taxpayers to file their returns and pay taxes within the set deadline. All our offices across the country and the URA Contact Center shall remain open to provide extra support to our esteemed taxpayers. Additionally, we have extended our contact center service hours from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Friday and from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays and public holidays. In light of the COVID-19 risks, we encourage taxpayers to reach us through our improved contact center and other online platforms instead of making physical visits to our offices. For online support, please reach us through our toll-free lines 0800 117 000 or 0800 217 000. Email services@ura.go.ug. Website ura.go.ug. Social media: Facebook, URA page, Twitter @URA Uganda. URA Customs Help Tool, help.ura.go.ug/login. URA appreciates all taxpayers who have duly fulfilled their obligations. Stay safe and let us all observe the standard operating procedures to prevent further spread of the COVID-19 virus. Stay safe as we develop Uganda together.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
We've cut and reduced our MTN Momo withdrawal rates. Now you can withdraw mobile money at the lowest rates. You also get MTN Century Points when you deposit, send, and withdraw MTN mobile money. Visit our Momo agents countrywide and withdraw mobile money at our reduced rates from 1st May 2021. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Echa COVID-19, chija kubwa. If we get vaccinated now, observe social distancing, wear a mask properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly. Together we can defeat this enemy.
Therefore, understanding this model. Hey, excuse me, lady. Who do you think you are? A queen?
Hey, haven't you heard? Get Airtel Chillax bundles and browse like a queen.
Get Airtel Chillax bundles that do not expire and browse like a queen or king. Dial *175# or use My Airtel app.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Introducing to you the Faculty of Interdisciplinary Studies, Mbarara University of Science and Technology. We run academic programs designed to create an interface between academics, industry, and the community. We aim at offering hands-on learning experience and skills that suit continuous evolving societal needs. Join the Faculty of Interdisciplinary Studies today for undergraduate training in Bachelor of Science in Planning and Community Development, Bachelor of Science in Gender and Applied Women Health, and Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Livelihoods and Farm Production. For postgraduate programs, we offer Master of Arts in Planning and Governance, Master of Arts in Development Studies, Master of Arts in Peace and Conflict Studies, Postgraduate Diploma in Criminology, and PhD in Development Studies. For inquiries, please contact us through our email dean.fis@mass.ac.ug or admissions@mass.ac.ug, or you can call the Dean directly on 0782827777 or 0701778699. Electronic applications are also available on our website, applications.mass.ac.ug. Succeed we must.
News tonight. Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development has released 5.7 trillion Uganda shillings for Q1 expenditure. The funds represent 25% of the approved budget of the financial year 2021-22, excluding appropriation in aid and public debt.
As a consequence of a projected shortfall in revenue of about 1.8 to 2 trillion shillings in the current fiscal year and the need for an urgent intervention to help combat the spread of coronavirus, government has provided an additional 600 billion shillings in the first quarter disbursement.
In regard to releases to the health, the Q1 releases has prioritized the following: a supplementary of 206 billion to cater for provision of oxygen, which is 96.96 billion. Logistics, 67.56 billion. Infrastructure, including beds, ICUs, HDUs, that's a medical term, 11.56 billion. Staff costs, and among the staff costs, I think there is an element of 32 billion for allowances of nurses and all these people in the health sector. Case management and national and referral hospitals, etc., etc. That's the 206 billion. 218 billion.1 to cater for purchase of COVID-19 vaccines under the national medical stores and essential drugs.
The budget of most ministries, departments and government agencies have also been suppressed by up to 41.2%. Some of the non-essential areas where the supplementary resources were raised include freeze of travel abroad, workshops and seminars.
So the amount of suppression in reality is 2.6 trillion as of now. So I have that in the back of mind when giving the cash limits for first quarter, that maybe 2.6 trillion is not going to come. So that I manage a better cash flow and I can predict better the macroeconomic stability. Because I do not want to compromise that. Because if inflation hits up, oh boy, it will be terrible.
Some of the key highlights of Q1 releases include allocation of a supplementary expenditure of 206 billion shillings to the health sector and provision of nurses and midwives allowances.
They assure the government that the nurses and the health sector now will work tirelessly, not only in terms of COVID, but every time they are supposed to go. So they should work hard now because lunch is there, and they should avoid absenteeism, they should avoid lamenting.
The supplementary expenditure also provides 53.5 billion Ugandan shillings for relief funding for the vulnerable groups. The total approved budget for the financial year 2021/2022 is 44.8 trillion shillings. Dennis Ikoa for UBC News.
Basketball team, the Silverbacks, are in good state in Morocco, where they will play the host nation in an Afro basketball qualifier this Thursday. Uganda faces a late test to qualify for Afro basketball to be hosted by Rwanda because of its futile campaign early this year, when due to COVID-19, a qualifier in Tunisia was cancelled. Organizers rescheduled Uganda's fixtures to this Thursday against Morocco, and upon failure to get the desired maximum points, another will be played with Cape Verde. Victory in one of those two games is what Uganda needs to enter the Rwanda party in August. The mood in camp is buoyant ahead of the game to be played at 9 p.m. local time on Thursday.
What I could bring to the game, because I was tall, you know, being a tall kid really helped a lot. But as I progressed and moved forward, I felt like I really started to grow into my roles. So what I mean by that is, when I started, I had a set position and I just worked at being the best at that position as possible. And then as I grew, people started growing with me, so I had to learn a new position. And I learned a new position and a new position and a new position until I knew all the positions on the court. And I felt like I could just contribute in so many ways on the court. So I was just trying to learn as much as possible, and I feel like this right here is going to be a great opportunity. Being able to come down here, go out of the country, play with the national team, it's a different sense of pride. I feel like this could always be a part of me. And I'm enjoying my time with the guys, you know, everybody's always joking, having fun, but when we get on the court, it's serious. And that's something I could respect. And it's something that I love to do. This game is something that I love. So every single time I step out on the court, my mindset is.
That brings us to the end of this first edition of News Tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Michael, Jordan Lukomwa, Elizabeth Nakakone and the whole team will get back to you at 10 p.m. For now, we'll leave you with Kutesa Mili, our colleague who has the weather forecast report.
Good evening. Thanks for tuning on UBC. I'm Kutesa Mili with today's weather update. There is a continued rainfall in some parts of our country, and by name this morning, so it had the highest of 26.2 millimeters, Chitugumu with 6.5, Gulu with the lowest of 1.5 millimeters. This is due to the moist winds blowing from the Congo air mass towards our country, plus the moist winds from the Indian Ocean, enhanced with local effects within our country, hence bring us the wet activities that we're receiving lately. Tomorrow morning, though, we expect to wake up with sunny intervals in most parts of our country, and some few areas across the lake shores in the east and the northern part of our region are expected to have light showers. Afternoon, though, we expect a pick-up of light showers most parts of our country, apart from some few areas in southwestern that are expected to have sunny intervals. Temperature to rise up to 30 degrees of maximum across Kasese, 29 degrees Celsius in northern part of our country, but in our City Kampala with 26 degrees Celsius. You is expecting to move out of our country into other countries. We are forecasting sunny intervals across Nairobi with a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius. Paris with light showers with 22 degrees Celsius. Dubai pretty hot and mixed with mist with a maximum of 44 degrees Celsius. Moscow with 28. New York is pretty hot though also with 31 degrees of maximum. Thanks for tuning on UBC. I'm by name Taxpayer. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.